Hi, this is Miss Hancock, and you are listening to 100th Monkey Business, where we talk to amazing people to learn about their 100th monkey moment, their personal tipping point, that point when they knew they had found their path to success. Today's guest is Jill Stone. Jill is a cheerleader for the meeting planner. She adds value to their bottom line by providing expert site selection services for meetings and conferences of all shapes, sizes, and places. Hello, Jill Stone.
Hello, Miss Hancock.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yay.
It's so much fun to be here.
I know, right? And this is the first 100th Monkey Business podcast we're doing, so thank you for coming on and being, can I say guinea pig even though it has to do with monkeys? You're my guinea pig. Also in the animal world,
exactly.
So we're good.
Okay.
All right.
Works for me.
So you've been in the meeting planning space for a very, very long time.
Yes, and that is, I don't need to talk about how old I am in that context.
You started
a
when
long
you were
time.
3 years old.
Exactly. I was lining up my dolls.
Meeting planner protege.
Exactly. Lining up the Barbie dolls. Yes.
All right, you go to this breakout session.
That's right.
Little
That's right.
Susie.
She had a Barbie one here.
So you started out actually planning meetings, though, and then you moved into the site selection sphere.
Yes.
So tell us, what does that mean, site selection?
Site selection is where I assist clients in finding hotels with guest rooms, meeting space, making sure that everything's included in their request for proposal, their RFP, so that they have a successful search and they find the hotel that fits their needs the best in the location they want, and with the outcomes that they want for whatever their meeting is about, if it's a sales meeting or a board meeting, etc.
Right. And what is amazing to me about the service is there's still, and I used to be in that meeting planning world, but there's still some myths out there about what you do. And one of the myths is that you're going to take over the meeting planner job, which you absolutely do not. You just make their life easier.
Exactly. I do not want to do their job ever again. I've done it.
Did it. Been there.
Got it.
That.
Some t-shirts. Still have them. No, what I want to do is assist them. I want to help them. I want to save them time. I want to take away their pain.
Right.
Which so many times there are so many challenges, especially now with room rates going up and hotels being a little more challenging in getting groups into them.
Right.
Because they're wanting different kinds of groups. So part of my job is to be a champion or a cheerleader of sorts for my clients, so that that hotel that they want to go to wants their meeting.
Exactly. And it doesn't create any issues with the relationship, because I know a lot of meeting planners want to have, they want to have that relationship with the venue, and you're not in between there. Once the contracts are signed and everybody's happy and you've negotiated on behalf of them, they get to go away.
Yes, I go away. I don't go away exactly. I stay on the sidelines,
right.
And I wait, but I don't interfere. Yes, I do get out of their way entirely, and they do then develop that relationship with the hotels, with the salespeople, and then with their convention services managers and other people in the hotel. And the only thing that I need to do potentially for them is if they have a challenge.
Right.
And then if they bring me back in for that, I help them with that. But I don't get in the way of any of their past, current, or future relationships, for that matter, and I enhance them.
Exactly. It's like you're like the person that you're the meeting matchmaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the meetings matchmaker, fairy godmother, as I say on my videos.
So, and the other thing is I used the word value add, but the reason for that is that it doesn't cost them any additional funds to utilize your services.
That is true. Everyone thinks it's too good to be true, but it's not. It really is true.
It really is what it is.
It is what it is. We do not charge for our services. The hotels don't raise their rates to pay for, to pay the commission to Helms Briscoe. I'm totally, free is not the right word, because there is a value to this,
right.
But there is no cost to the organization to work with me and utilize my services.
Which is so, oh my gosh. People should be running to you. So the other thing with Helms Briscoe, that's the umbrella under which you operate. With them being huge, they buy more room nights than any other organization out there. So you have this, negotiation power. Woo! You're on it.
Volume buying power. We just came out with our new numbers. Just came out actually today, and we book Chicago every day.
Oh my gosh!
It is now. Obviously, we don't book Chicago every day, but the number of hotel rooms that Chicago has we book that number every night. We are into the billions of room revenue for the hotels. So the hotels see value in us too, because we bring them business, and it might be business that they may never get. Some meetings are small. They're 10 people, maybe 50 people. Most hotels won't go after that in terms of their salespeople because they just don't have enough salespeople to do that. They want the larger meetings, or they concentrate on those. What we do is bring them those smaller meetings that might fill a hole for the hotel, which is of value to my client as well, because then the rates are typically much more favorable because they're in between a couple of other groups maybe, or they're matched up with another group in the hotel, whereas they're in separate space, and it becomes this great partnership between the hotel, the client, me, and even the other group that's already in-house in the hotel. So there's a lot of value in knowing those kinds of things as well, or knowing if there's going to be a citywide event going on in a particular city. Either we want to be part of that or we don't.
Right.
And it's good for my clients to have that value, or that knowledge that I have. And yes, there's 1,400 Helms Briscoe associates across the world. We can tap into each other's knowledge base at any time. We have a database full of all of that. Or if we can't find it, somebody will tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been great. It's great.
So, and let's touch upon that, because meeting planners, and we were both meeting planners at some point in our life, and you're, crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, it is a very stressful and detailed,
fifth
crazy,
most stressful.
Which is so crazy. Like after firemen,
I know,
and police worker,
meeting planners. I know.
People do not know how stressful of a world that is, and they have so much on their plate. They have to know so much, and so to take this off their plate, and also to deliver it to them in super easy to read, right? Because it's like, here, I'm going to take the request for proposal. I'm going to find the places that you actually want to look at that fit your needs. And then I'm going to give you a nice pretty spreadsheet with all the details.
And pictures.
Yes. Ooh la la. But so much easier, because that is a very time-consuming, often sort of thankless part of the job, because it takes so much time. If I were a meeting, I'd be like, hello, Jill.
I know. Well,
take this off my plate, please.
Someone did an informal kind of guesswork that it takes about 40% of their day to do the site search.
Oh my gosh.
And we do it in a matter, I can do it in 24 hours. I'd rather have more time, obviously. But because the hotels are so used to us and the volume that we bring them, they respond very quickly. They respond with things like concessions, upgrades, different amenities and things like that the client might not even ask for or know to ask for.
Right.
And that becomes part of the whole package that I bring, as well as, helping negotiate and working on the contract for them with clauses and things to protect them is one thing, but then there's all these other things that come along with it, these great value added things that they might not realize they can get.
Yeah.
And
so it really does. There's a lot of value you can add.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yay, Jill Stone.
It's so much fun. And I love doing it. It's great. I love doing it for my clients. I love getting the best deal. And I've been called a bulldog. But I'm friendly. I'm a friendly bulldog.
But you understand how important the relationship between the hotel and the meeting planner is. So obviously you're good at balancing that.
Oh, definitely.
I've seen the testimonials. I already know how awesome you are. But the other thing that I think is cool is from the standpoint of the meeting planner and everything that you're going to bring to them, and the parts of their life that they can now look like, the headache parts. Let's just call it the headache parts.
Right. Okay.
Reading contracts. But you know them backwards and forward because you've seen so many contracts, and you also have an idea from working with all these various venues, like where you can make better, like, I'm going to negotiate this. I need to make sure that we have this writer stuck on this one because that makes sense for this client. You can really help them in so many ways and see things they might not have seen on their own.
Yeah, exactly. There's a particular clause that I like to put in. It's the service and gratuity charge lock-in clause is what I call it. It's kind of an informal, but there have been times where hotels have raised their service charge up 2 or 3% between the time the contract is signed and then when the meeting happens. Ooh. Well, if you have that clause, where it's locked in, they can't do that. And so your budget then is easier to manage. But there are many planners that don't realize they can do that. And so my clients all get that in their contracts now, because that's a universal.
That's a significant
yes.
savings.
Well,
too.
yes, it could be. It could very
for a
well
big
be.
meeting, that's huge.
Well, even a small meeting, because if you're budgeting your audiovisual and you're budgeting your your rooms and everything that you're going to do, and someone raises something 2% on you, that has a significant impact on what you're doing. And not only that, but service charges are taxable. So if it gets raised 2%, then you get taxed on the additional money.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there's, every state has that. It's, gotta love it.
Gotta have the taxes.
Yeah, gotta have the taxes.
All right, so let's get to the 100th monkey moment. When did you know? You were like, I'm good at this, and this is me. This is what I'm going to do and be successful.
I had 3.
Okay, let's hear them.
Well, the first one was when I got my first client. I was probably about 2 to 3 months in. I had gone back to a previous person I knew, and they gave me a meeting, and I got to do the search, and I thought, oh, this is cool. I think I'd like to make this work. The second one was at the end of my very first year with Helms Briscoe. So that particular year, I hadn't made any money yet. I was booking business into the next year, and I got to the end of the year, and I could see that was going to be doable.
Right.
I could see that things were going to happen in the next year. And then the third one was when my husband bought me a car at the end of my second year for Christmas. And I thought, we can't afford that. And then I realized, oh, yes, we can. I made money in my second year, and we can afford a car. And so it was those moments that really made me realize that I could do this. And the other thing was, I realized I was providing so much value to my clients. And for me, that was another tipping point, or another moment,
right,
where I saw that I was helping them,
right, where they were like, because a lot of your clients are they've been with you so long, they're like, I can't live without you now, because
yes,
if I had to add this back on my plate,
exactly, they've gotten used to not having to do that. As soon as they get a meeting, here, Jill, you do this, and it's an email to me,
right,
and that's great, and now they don't even have to tell me. Any kind of details about their meetings. I already know. You
know it because you've done it
I've done it so many times.
Right.
Yeah. So all they have to do is give me the dates they want to go and where they want to go. And I'm even if they don't know exactly where they want to go, I can help them with that too. There's a lot of times where we've had conversations. I have a huge map on my wall, and someone says, I want to be southwest. And I'm like, okay, so we start looking at, the various things, and that's where I help them find where they want to be. And
right.
Because sometimes they don't know. Or we look at everything. There's a possibility of that. And that's one of the things that planners will have a hard time finding time to do, is if they don't know where they want to go and they just want to go someplace warm in February.
Right.
I can do all of that with the same search is, the same, and I can do it all and get that back to them, like you said, in a pretty spreadsheet.
Yes.
With pictures. and also so much information that they might not have, because we have a proprietary system. And so when we send out an RFP to the hotels, when they respond, there's a lot of information that gets brought back into that the planners might not even know they needed.
Right.
So it's very helpful.
So there's a process behind a lot of it, which if the planner doesn't already have that in place, it's tons of work on their end.
Well, not only that, but the collection of everything.
Right.
So they might have a process in place. They might have an RFP that's all outlined with what they need and how they need it and all their history, which is great. The challenge is when you start getting all that information back, and how do you compile all of that? That's time consuming.
Right.
And then there are the phone calls. Every hotel sales manager is going to start calling them and emailing them, because they need to know where they want to go. And I am a buffer for that. We put on everything, please do not contact the client until the client's ready to be contacted.
Exactly.
Then I will totally do it.
Yeah, then they can take it from
there.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool with that.
That is awesome. All right, tell us where we can find you.
Oh gosh, well, several places. JillStoneMeetings.net is one of them, and my Twitter handle is @JStoneMeetings. No, there's no dot.
No dot.
Just @JStoneMeetings on Twitter, or JStone@HelmsBriscoe.com. or you can call me.
Or you have a Facebook page.
I do have a Facebook page.
You're on LinkedIn.
Yes, I am. Where else am I? I think that's all. I'm on Instagram,
YouTube,
but I'm not.
You have.
I do have a YouTube channel.
YouTube.
I have a YouTube channel.
You're
I
a
do.
social media diva.
I don't know about that, but yes, my YouTube channel. My grandkids appreciate it. They think it's funny.
I love it. Well, thank you, Jill.
Well, thank you
so
for having me.
all those meeting planners out there, you're the person to call. You will take a lot of their work from them but not taking any work they don't want to be taken away.
Exactly. Whatever
they're
want to
in
get.
control of their whole destiny when it comes to
exactly.
In the end, they're in control. It's just you're there to kind of help and support and make it easier.
Exactly. That's the goal, is to take away the pain of whatever it is that's causing them that pain. Obviously, I can't help them with their children or spouses, but when it comes into their work life, I can take away some of that pain and help them and provide some value, and that's my goal. That's what I want to do for them. And so, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I love it. Thank you, Jill Stone.
Thank you.
And everybody out there, you have been listening to 100th Monkey Business, where we talk to the amazing business person. Have a great day.